stuff. So I had today off. I have Monday off. Vacation time needed to use up. Phoenix Film Festival. We're going to industry night. That is the subject. So took off today. Took off Monday. Yeah. So spent the day. Oh, okay, so I have nails. Press on nails. They are the Impress ones. But then I used glue as well, nail glue as well. So kiss and kiss. Glue and nails. So it's harder for me to get things open. Like I'm trying to open this right now. And I'm like, why? Did not realize this would be a chore. I went and got breakfast from Seuss Pastries. If you live in Phoenix, Seuss Pastries, 7th Ave and Missouri, over in the Hatch Chili, next door to the chicken chili, Hatch Chili Kitchen. And they also have farmers markets, the Uptown Farmers Market, Wednesday until they stop Wednesday farmers market, and Saturdays. So anyway, they had a Sammy there, so I finally went to pick it up because I saw it all week, and I'm like, I didn't have a chance to go all week because we have these things called suicide lanes, and it's in the intersection during the week in suicide lanes between that certain time frame. There's no way, even if I woke up early before work, to go get it, or I have to wait till after 9 to go get it. Yeah, it was gonna happen. I would have eaten by then. So that's a lot. I had a little acne right there. It just came out of nowhere. My skin's, I don't know why, for the last 2 weeks, my skin's been getting very irritated just randomly throughout the day, and then it'll be gone. Because I had another one around here I'm not going to touch because that's what causes this reaction. So I'm like, what am I touching? And sometimes I'm like, I didn't touch anything. And it just goes crazy. I'm going to put on Carpe Lasting Matte SPF Finish. Sun literally just came out, but that's probably too much right there. Still, I knew the sun's gonna come out. It was predicted to come out at 6, of course, for when I would be leaving the house. So, and even if there's cloud coverage, you're still supposed to put sunscreen on. So, I rearranged some things on my desk. So my mirror that's usually behind my setup here is now to the side. Which also helps when I'm using my computer. So I don't have to adjust it like I usually do. It's currently 79 degrees. So it was gonna be like 82 or whatever, but it went down to 70. It's humid. It's been humid for the last few days. Wednesday I had to go into the office to go to work because I wanted to, but let me see, cable, because I don't have cable. The internet provider was down in the neighborhood. And I'm like, I got the text telling me that, but I can't read any text before I sit down at my desk to start working. I don't have my glasses on, reading glasses. So I'm like, it's just a random text, whatever. I'm like, I'll read it then. It's like literally a few minutes before I was about to clock in. And then I go to clock in, I'm like, saying no internet connection. I'm like, what? Then I read the text. And then I go look at my router, and I'm like, yeah, there's no signal. So I'm like, okay, let me wait a few minutes, because sometimes, it goes out and comes back in. And so waiting a few minutes. While I'm waiting for those few minutes, I'm like, I brush my teeth, wash my face, just in case I have to go into the office. And that was a good cause of action, because it did not come back on. So finally, as I'm still getting ready, I finally called the office, and it's like, yeah, I'm coming in. I'm like, okay. And so we had gotten an email about some of the big wigs were going to be in the office, I guess, but it didn't say what day. It was like all week, whatever. And of course, I couldn't access that email to see what else it said about dress code, so I just dressed nicely. I didn't wear jeans, which I could have worn jeans. This is very soft right now. I'm like, is this prediction of it being 70 something? It's gonna be like this summer. So I'm just gonna put this on the back of my hand. So I have these pair of dress pants that I love, and I forgot I had them because I don't have to wear dress pants usually. And so I pulled those on, and I was like, okay, a top though. I didn't want to deal with a complicated top. And so luckily I found one. And then there was sunscreen, and then I had to do my eyebrows. I can't go to the office not with my eyebrows not being done. And then my sneakers are kind of dirty. They weren't like, it's black, but apparently I don't know why I was walking, I had dirt on them. So I was like, I can't wear these. So I'm gonna pull this out just in case I need to fix my eyebrows. No, eyebrows are pretty good considering I slept on my face. So that's interesting. That comes off now. Maybe I didn't click that. Okay. So I was like, let's move this in this. I'm gonna use Danessa's brush. I'm just gonna use the other one, but it's so hard to clean. Okay, I gotta look at them. That I didn't want to use that brush. So I did my eyebrows, and I had to pick a lippy. And so I had to lotion my feet because I had some open toe shoes or whatever, some heels that I am not wearing today. So, because my feet were killing me, like after a while, because there was half a size smaller than I can wear, but they fit fine. Unless you wear them too long, which of course that's what happened. 8 hours. If you hear dog barking, it's not the usual dog. Downstairs, the neighbor down the hall, the dog, I don't remember if I've said this before because it's been a while since I recorded, barks like crazy when they come home, like entering the apartment. So I'm like, okay, you know these people, why are you barking like that? It's not like it's strangers. But it like barks like ridiculous the amount. I'm trying to make sure I get this all in, because I know it's gonna settle. And because it's been humid. Like that morning, it's like 7 something, but it was also humid. I'm like, why is it humid? My apartment was humid. I've been turning my fan's on right now, like off and on this week. So I was like, okay. If I didn't have to lotion my feet, and if I didn't stop to lotion my feet, I would have been less late. And then, because I don't have food for breakfast and lunch packed up and ready to go, I was like, okay, let me go to Salad and Go. I would have rather went to Angie's Prime Grill, but they're not here yet. They're building one down the street. So, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go to Salad and Go. And luckily there was no line, but somehow it still took forever for me to get my food. I'm like, I just want to be like, what are y'all doing? Usually you can go in and out. And I'm like, okay. Like I said, it took forever for some reason. I'm like, I was happy that nobody else was in the line originally, because I was like, okay. It won't take that long. And then it took forever. And then I get to work, and she didn't give me a straw. Usually they throw the straw in the bag. And I'm like, she did not give me a straw. Are we gonna, yeah, let's go with that. We'll start with that now. I'm using LYS for bronzer, which you can't really see right now, but this tip has been, so I could just get the tip here. Thank you. Okay. So like I said, I was there forever, and then finally, and then there's traffic on a Wednesday is worse than normal traffic. So I was just like, I realized I could have went with my hand, straight on my hand instead, but I did not. So I'm gonna buff this out first. And I realized I didn't put any back there like I usually do, so let's move it up there too. And so I finally get to work and I'm like, okay. And the great thing about, since we renovated it, you could literally just plug your laptop in and go. You don't have to sign into a million things like you usually do when you're at home. For security purposes, it's like, yeah, I understand, but it takes, yeah, you don't have, a portal and stuff like that you have to deal with. I think when I last shaved my head, this is a nice length. I was gonna bleach it, but it's harder to find a bleach. And if you do it online, it's like twice the cost. So I have some left. So I'm like, I'm not gonna bleach my head until April, because I have to go in office in April and I have a wedding, so maybe that I'll bleach it then. Otherwise, it's like, I'm like, this is the perfect length to bleach it. It wasn't too bad at work. But they have AC on, and it wasn't freezing. It was perfect because, like I said, this weird warmth with the humidity for whatever reason. And we have some new people that came, whatever. So one of them, she has a name. I guess that could be. It's one of those names that could be for a guy or a girl. But again, you don't know until you see this person or ask that person. And like, they didn't have. I had no reason to ever see an email that said what the pronouns are, because you know how some companies in their signature says pronouns are he, she, they, them kind of thing. And so I'm like, we would never have any reason to email for me to know that. So I'm gonna do that in a second. So they had asked a question about an email or whatever, or someone didn't receive an email, and I'm like, okay, they're new. They don't know where to look to confirm or whatever to see to make themselves less stressed about the situation. So I was like, okay. I'm like, where are you sitting? In the chat, I was like, where are you sitting? And she told me, and I was like, okay. She's like, where are you? I'm like, black bald lady by the window. I'm the only black person. At that time, I was the only black person in the office. One of the supervisors is black, and then there's two other black ladies. One I don't interact with. I've never talked to. The other one is a different shift. So, and I'm bald. It's easy to find me. So I stood up, waved. So she came over. I showed her how to do something, whatever. She introduced herself. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, we're shaking hands these days. Yeah. She seemed very nice. I'm like, okay, I was nice today. Can I go home now? I'm like, I'm a nice person, but I kind of, I guess you say, keep to myself sometimes. And especially new people, other stuff is going on. I'm just like, when I'm in the office, I'm like, I talk to the people I've known a very long time because I've worked with a long time. Otherwise, I don't really talk to a lot of people. Needless to say, I was overdressed. I didn't have to be that dressed. So I was like, okay. But luckily I was comfortable. I'm like, if I'm gonna be overdressed, at least I was comfortable in the dress pants that I've gotten for Torrid. The Torrid studio pants, they were straight trousers or whatever. They're very comfortable. They're not too tight, they're not too loose. And I don't have to wear shapewear underneath them because, girl got cellulite. I think the eyesight save lives though. But so I'm very comfortable in them. And I have other dress pants I realized in my closet that I know I can't fit. that I have not worn in forever that I need to just donate. And, you know, just bite the bullet. And because I did some spring cleaning in the house, like cleaning kind of thing, makeup wise and stuff like that. But I'm like, yeah, I need to get rid of those pants, I realized. Because I also, last night, I pulled out my spring summer clothes and switched with my winter clothes. And I'm like, it's been hot off and on. We've had a day it was 99. And it's, even though it's going to be like, again, 60 something next week, that's still kind of warm to where I don't need to have a thick sweater out. I have my cardigan that's somehow still sitting in my car. I have a hoodie that's sitting in my car that if I go somewhere and I'm like, okay, I'm just wearing this t-shirt or whatever, and I know it's going to be cold, I can put that on. I don't need, and I have other jackets, so I don't need sweaters wherever I'm going. So I was like, it's time to put those away. Okay, let's blend out. I have resolved I don't want to use my usually nose contour brush. I'm just going to use this because that's what I used to do anyway. So yeah, so I did that last night. But anyway, so went to the office, whatever, you know, saw people. And everybody kept asking, why are you here? And I'm like, you don't have to meeting. It's like, you know, you don't have to be here, so why are you? I'm like, if one more person asks me, why am I here? Yeah. So, and we are using Juvia's Place, the new cream blush in Terracotta. But I literally today got a new brush. This is Real Techniques, even says new. The cherry on top brush. It's a dual brush. I picked it up today because Sephora's 21, not Sephora, Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty event ended yesterday, but they always do a bonus day. And so a lot of stuff was on sale, and I just happened to look, and this was on sale, and I always said if this is on sale, I would get it, and so I did. And because I had to go for, what else did I have to go get? I didn't buy the mascara, which I know people expect me to get, but this Mega Babe, it's like a Jordan stick, but for your thighs. So it's summer, it's getting hot. My other one ran out, and I'm like, even though I always wear shorts and everything, other than, you know, jeans or dress pants, I was like, I need this because they be chapping sometimes. So since I was getting that, I was like, let me get this as well. So it's fluffy. You can use powder for that side. You can use cream on the side. So that's what we're doing right now. So I'm just now I'm gonna put this on my hand, actually. Yeah, I think my house is just sweating. Yeah, let's see how much just came off. Originally I was gonna use Dahlia, the liquid blush. Still, you know, Juvia's Place, but I decided last month, let me just use cream. Regardless, like I said, I was going to use something. Dahlia would have been about as deep as well. So I'm going to put the top on this because once you go in Juvia's Place, you don't need to go back in. So, like, let's put this bad boy away. The Incredible Hulk is on. Not the Lou one, but the Ed Norton one. I have never had any desire to see that one. I've heard enough about it. And Liv Tyler, and I don't know who else is in it. Tim Roth apparently is in it. And I woke up to this, so it's not like I purposely. And I realized when I watched Captain America 4, Brave New World, that if you have not seen it, spoiler, the villain is from this version of Hulk. So I was like, okay, eventually my friend who's very into Marvel, I was like, apparently I need to watch this movie. Because, yeah, he just go ahead and watch it. I'm like, I didn't want to watch it. And I'm not really watching it now. But, another spoiler, Liv Tyler's also in the Brave New World as well. So, again, if you haven't seen it, where you been? Black Captain America. So, it's like, okay. Yeah, this is very pretty, and I like this brush. And I know I have the other blush brush that I love. I do love that. But sometimes dual, other than storing them, are helpful because then you're just using this one brush versus using one for cream and then one for powder. So you're dirtying up, you know, two brushes, or you can use the same because I have done that, but still. Okay, so we're gonna put that down and stop doing that. And I'm gonna take Danessa's again and gonna blend these sides here. Right there. And then contour one. It's just there. Okay, let me wipe all this off too before I touch something. And the fact that this is drying out, 79 is obviously too hot. Or the fan as well is not helping. The eyes are the coffee shop. I almost said the chocolates because I still need to do that swipe, comparing them before I declutter it. I still have it because purposely I was like, I need to do that video. I never, it won't be this weekend because I am going this weekend. There will be times I'll be home, but other times it's like this. Yeah. Phoenix Film Festival, yeah, can get crazy, and I don't even have a movie in it, and I am not even working at it. So, I was generously donated or given a pass to go. I think it's a higher pass, so like a VIP or something like that, so I can go to the events, certain things, whatever. VIP area, I think so. I haven't gotten it yet. It's at Will Call, along with some of the movies I said I wanted to go. So this person, who's also on YouTube, I don't know if he wanted to be known that he gave me the pass, so that's why I'm not saying, but his company, whatever, I watch his channel, and as a supporter of his channel, he gifted me with this pass. So, and this is still, holding on. And it's like this because I store it upside down when I'm about to do makeup. So since he did that, because usually I go to industry night. I try to go to most of the panels. If they have anything to do with anything doing with acting, I don't go to those unless it's working with a director kind of acting, because I'm not an actor. And then try to see at least one movie, because it's the tagline is to find your next favorite movie. So I try to go at least to one movie. I'm patting it off on my hand, so I'm like not putting it directly. Which otherwise it'd be very patchy and cakey. So yeah, but by him giving this to me, I can't 100% say it's the person who owns the company, because I'm somebody else. You know, some of these companies have other people who oversee their accounts for social media. So I'm like, okay, he may have an assistant. I don't know if he has an assistant or whatever. Well, we're not that close or whatever. I mean, I do, you know, randomly may talk about this or that, but you know, Facebook versus Instagram, what have you, or YouTube. But he knows I'm a supporter, so I'm like, I'm sure he could have told one of his people, offer her this kind of thing. Yeah, I'll probably see him tonight, so I can just go ahead and ask him if he's okay with me telling people. Like I said, usually, like in the past, I've been gifted things, but nobody's ever, I haven't heard anything. So, like I said, I was just willing to go to Oliver Stone. It's going to be in town. They're going to show Platoon. No, I have never seen Platoon. And I guess it's a reunion. Some of the other people from Platoon are going to be there. I don't know who else. I'm like, I don't know if it's crew or just crew or whatever, because I'm like, who else is? And I was like, is that the one? I'm confused again with Apocalypse Now, which I also have not seen. So I'm like, okay, this is a chance since I had to pay for that. And I don't know if this pass would have paid for that without me having to pay separately. We shall see. That I'm like, okay, I'll see the movie for the first time and knock that off the list of movies I should have seen but have not. You know, there's always movies you should have seen. People are like, what? You haven't seen it? No. So let's do bronzer. This video is going to go a little long. So, okay, and I did agree I was going to use this for bronzer. Let's pat on the hand. Let's start down there. This kind of brush, I want to start down there. Yeah, this placement of this mirror is much better. And I have it angled because otherwise it's usually flat against the thing. And a lot of creamy things on my face, so of course nothing is really drying down anyway until I set everything. It's been pretty quiet for a Friday in the parking lot. I'm a little surprised. Yeah. But yeah, so I went in the office and then they're like, oh, we'll be back on by 6, 5 o'clock. They're like, it's taking longer than we think. So I'm like, okay, let me go to, I took the long way home, or the freeways usually. So rush hour traffic, going home traffic. So I just went to Sephora. I made a pickup for Paula's Choice 2% because I have the Fenty one, but my face, again, has been this weird, random pimples, whatever, or bumps or whatever, texture out of nowhere. And I looked up the symptoms of perimenopause because I had one on chest, and I'm like, and it says acne or what have you, skin irritation, what have you, on your face, your neck, or your chest. Because I'm like, I've never really had an issue here. For example, I don't know if y'all can see that. This used to be clear, and I had this skin irritation like last week. And like I had a rash or something happen, and all of a sudden, I was like, okay, let me just keep putting ointment on it. And it's still here. So it doesn't hurt. It stopped itching finally. I had to put, ointment on it, Aveeno, for it to stop itching. And because when you sleep, you kind of sleep like that, so it's not exactly the way I sleep. So I'm like, okay, I washed my, like I don't wash my pillowcase and stuff, but it's also been warm all of a sudden. So I'm like, let me wash my pillowcases. Eventually I need to wash my comforters again, but I'm like, I wasn't planning on it that soon because that's at least $13. And then sitting in there for however long, because they always take forever to dry. It's yeah. Let's kind of bring it down a little bit here. So I went to Sephora, so I got the Paula's Choice to clear the acne that was on my face, random acne. And I was like, okay, if I use this every day, twice a day, until industry night, I'll be gone, and it's gone. So Paula's Choice, that's when I use it. I don't use it every day usually, but when I have an acne issue, that's when I have to set my nose contour. But it works every single time. So I'm like, even though that Fenty one has some of the same stuff, but I guess because it doesn't have everything, that's why it wasn't clearing up my face like I needed to. And then I also used my Innisfree cream cleanser. I use that usually during the summer because my face is always sweaty. Because that combo oily definitely comes out during the summer. And because it's, like I said, it's been hot, more hot lately than usual, the 90s, whatever. I think the day Wednesday when I went in the office, I think it was like 80, 90s. It was bearable, but still, it's definitely warm. And so, and then when I got, you know, I also used the Wi-Fi up in Sephora. When I got home, was it back on? No. Luckily, I have a DVD and Blu-ray collection. I was going through them. I'm like, I didn't remember buying this, but I have all these. I'm like, oh, okay. I did not realize I had these. I ended up watching The Gentleman, the movie, not the series. And I still love it. It's still a good movie. Yeah, even though I'd seen it, I was like, I watched pretty much, was focused on it. Because, again, yeah, it's a good movie. Okay, so we're going to use the fluffy side now. And I kind of like Real Techniques because these, you can see them get clean. Well, not when they're brown at the end, but they're not very densely packed like this. Real Techniques just have some good brushes. So we're going in Neo, of course. We know I love my Neo. So let's see here. I'm trying not to go too crazy because I know it kicks up like it just did right there. And then you think you don't put that much on there, and the next thing you know, I have a face full of. Yep, because on my hand, it's there. But yeah, see, I like this, the way it's looked, the application is nice. This fluffy, not too. So yeah, so, and it still wasn't on. And then I was using cellular data, and I'm like, I don't know if that's costing me something. I still don't know. I'm like, who's billing me for that? So eventually I just turned it off. I'm like, I don't need the emails, what have you. And then I started getting notifications on my phone. I was laying in bed already, but I started getting notifications. I was planning to go into the office Thursday. But I was getting notifications on my phone, so I'm like, so I got up, looked at the modem, about it, and it was back on. So I'm like, okay. Did we get a text? No. Did we get an email? No. Mind you, in the morning, so I got up in the morning, at the time I would have to get ready to go to the office, and logged into my laptop on that, and it was like, everything worked. I went laid back down. Did I go sleep? No, but I laid back down. So I was like, okay, did we get an email? Did we get a text? No. Later in the day, we're like, yeah, because the new updated email or text was like, okay, it's gonna be more like 6 p.m. Thursday. And then there's no follow-up ever after that. And then later, about 5 p.m. Thursday, while I had worked from home, we were like, oh, it's taking a little longer than it's supposed to. I'm like, you don't realize the freaking internet's back on, do y'all? I'm like, okay, I understand. 1 o'clock in the morning, you don't have nobody watching this account, but for the whole neighborhood. But the fact that y'all are clueless that this is back working. So I'm like, I'm just glad I didn't have to go to the office. What did I do with my thing? Okay, yeah, it's over there. So dealing with that debacle and then working from home Thursday. So basically yesterday, there was some drama with my downstairs neighbors. So working from home, and lady, I guess because it's warm outside, it's on the patio, extremely loud on FaceTime. So I went down, I didn't go down there. I went on my patio and I was like, trabajando, pointing to my dining room, like I'm working. And she just, I don't know what she said, but you could tell she just basically said something ignoring what I was saying, kind of saying, I'm not going to quiet down kind of thing. And I'm like, it was just very in a nasty tone. And she's used this nasty tone with me before. Like, again, I have no idea what you're saying, but the tone was very obvious. So a bunch of words were exchanged. Then she calls her husband, who's apparently in the apartment. I'm like, why are y'all home? I understand her, because I don't think she has a job. But I'm like, why is he home? I'm like, why aren't you anywhere? Don't you have a job? I swear this dude has a job. So, okay, no, not a lot of this is coming out. Okay, I'm trying to tip the finishing powder. So he comes out, and the little bit of Spanish I understood was basically, the patio is part of my house, just like your patio is part of your house. And I'm like, she's being loud again. We don't understand. No English. They don't know English because they like. I know the office once said they seem to understand about this, but I'm like, no, no, no. When I talk to them, they never seem to know English, and they will talk to me in Spanish or wherever they're from. So I'm like, I don't know why y'all think they can speak English, because they've never spoken English with me. I don't know why you would not speak English, with your neighbors. So, and he just starts yelling at me. He's yelling at me again in Spanish or whatever, to the point to, I basically go inside, put some shoes on, and I go to the office to talk to the manager that I know can speak Spanish and who knows about the issue, versus the other girl who never really does anything about anything I ask. So, like, if I need this, whatever, she always drops the ball. So when I went in there, I saw her, and I'm like, okay, I really need to talk to him. I was nice about it. But she probably could see on my face that this was not a situation you wanted to deal with. And so while I'm in there and I'm telling him, I'm like, where's the top to this? Oh, okay. And I'm telling him, and I, just tell him, I'm like, okay, and she's on the phone again, she's doing this, yelling, whatever. While I'm in there, my neighbor from upstairs, who I rarely talk to, rarely see since she moved in, other than my introducing myself to her back then, I couldn't point her out in the lineup. She comes in and goes, yeah, they were, she may know some Spanish. She's like, yeah, they were yelling and cussing her out, and that lady was very loud. I'm like, I didn't know they were cussing me out. They were yelling a lot of stuff at me. But to me, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be one of those people say, okay, you shouldn't, what's that word, equal, whatever, equal rights and all this stuff. But I'm like, a man yelling at a woman. Okay, I'm like, I'm not your woman. I know y'all fight, but I'm not your woman. You probably shouldn't be yelling at any woman like that, but I'm like, okay, you need to. So, manager got up, came with us that way, and I stood a ways away while she talked to them. They were yelling at him. It was like, okay, to me, I'm like, you see what I've been dealing with. And I know they're talking about me because they were looking at me. I'm like, again, I'm like, I don't understand. Changed the setup, so everything's moved. If you didn't notice, my setup changed. But yeah, I've never seen that dude pissed off, but when he walked away, I could tell he was definitely pissed. But I'm like, kind of like, y'all see, this is what I've been dealing with. It's not like I've ever felt unsafe, and still don't feel unsafe, but it's just one of those things. I'm like, okay, things I do know what the car looks like, and other things, but I'm like, yeah, it is gonna happen, I think, eventually, because it's been going on. Like I said, it's really good for like a couple of weeks, and then even the manager noticed that, and then all of a sudden they start up again with loudness and what have you. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad it happened during the day so that he can handle it, versus me calling security and them not showing up for however long. And I was glad that I had her upstairs as a witness, because apparently they told her to go back inside. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't know who y'all think y'all are. I'm like, when you live in an apartment, you're living with other people. Like, it's a community. And it's like, y'all are disturbing the community. Yeah, that patio is part of your apartment, but it's also part of the community. by being disrespectful, being that loud. So I'm gonna turn this upside down just in case I need that again. So let's now I'm seeing this right here. I don't know if y'all can see it on camera right there. I'm going to, okay. I need to what's the word I'm looking for? Fix my eyebrows, or the hair. I need to clean up my eyebrows because I know it's under there or whatever. I just use the white in here to do the accent, so it kind of covers it up a little bit. Probably doesn't really. But, and then it was quiet the rest of the night. Like I said, I'm like, I despise drama. I avoid drama. I had drama in my 20s. And just people I was around, so that's why I don't hang around with a lot of people. I'm like, if it's not in a movie, I don't want to deal with drama. I don't confront people. Like, it takes a lot for me to finally, say something like that. To get to that point, to be yelling at somebody or whatever. And I don't really yell. You can ask somebody, have you heard me yell? I don't really yell. So that's definitely, I'm using this tiny, so for, like I said, that situation, it was just, I had it in the situation. I kind of had warned them last time. I'm like, something is going to happen, like blow up kind of thing. And if they don't, I didn't say if they don't, but as we see by me constantly going in there, I'm like, y'all aren't doing enough. I'm like, I know there's a certain amount of, I guess, complaints y'all have to deal with before you can actually do something. I'm gonna flip my mirror because probably been helpful if I could see where it was on the brush, and that's probably why I wasn't seeing it. But yeah, like I said, it was quiet the rest of the night, and so I think they left as well. And the friend that was there definitely left. And like I said, I'm not really a dramatic drama person, but it was just, I forgot to buy Q-tips. I was in the store where I could have bought Q-tips. Did not buy them. So that happened. And like I said, I don't feel like unsafe or anything like that. They just seem like a bunch of people who just don't respect their other neighbors. Not something like do something kind of thing. And I think I was fine, except the only thing that bothered me is that my mother's now worried. And that's the only thing. It's like, don't do things to worry my mother. Because me, like I said, going out, and I'll be going out this weekend, she's like, let me know when you get home kind of thing. And she hasn't. Been like that in a very long time. So I'm like, okay. Like I said, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't fight. I can't open jars with these hands. So I'm like, I can't fight nobody. I've never fought anybody physically ever. I'm like, it wasn't gonna come to that. The fact that when I left my apartment to go to the office, I specifically went a different route so I would not pass, because I don't know what kind of people these people are. Like I said, like how nasty the wife could be towards me. That's why I was like, I don't know if she's gonna be one of those people to do that. So I haven't followed up to find out what's going on. If that was enough, or again, I definitely don't want people to be homeless or anything, but y'all also shouldn't be acting a fool with your neighbors. Okay. Because I put it, I did that little, not smoky, but I did the dark on the side and dark on the inside as well. Halo, it's called Halo. And then you put the shiny in the middle. I kind of did that. That was my goal. So That's what that's going on. And I used my finger for the shiny part because I realized with using a brush sometimes you just don't use your fingers. You have them, use your fingers. So that's what I did with that. Okay, let's get the lips. And then we'll finish the eyes. And then I need to get dressed because I wanted to get there by a certain time. It's not happening. But it still will be before this movie. But I want to get the pass and the ticket for tonight's movie, which Pedro Pascal's in. Freaky Tales, it's playing at the festival. So I'm going to see that. So I'm going to go to industry night beforehand, go to the movie, go back to industry night because people come at different times. You don't see them. So that'll get a chance to hopefully see people. Some people come early. There's a chance to see people who I usually don't see because they come right early. I was going to do eyeliner too. Let's finish up the lips. Pound cake and rum. I could get my nail because again, this wipe is dry at this point. It's a little wet spot right there for me to take this off my hand. I'm still deciding. So this top, which has the arms out, I'm wearing a strapless bra. I bought that Lane Bryant Tord. Bought that Tord more than a year ago, at least, maybe. I'll look up to see when I bought that. And it's like silk, and you can't wear it during the summer, but when it's cold, you can't really wear it either. So it's like, okay, spring and fall, perfect times. I have not worn it, so. Oh, I ran out of sunscreen, my spray sunscreen, and then I ran out of my Fenty one. You can't get more out of it. So I used all that, and then used some of my Clinique sunscreen, and then since I ran out of my spray, which I would use for my head, what have you, I got a new head wrap from United Beauty. So I know I went over a little with that. Do I want to clean that up? I kind of do. There's other ways, but I know this doesn't dry down because I'm seeing a wet spot right now. So as long as I don't contact anything, I'll wait for that to dry down. But it's like a semi-matte. So if it was a brighter red, I would have definitely not. Just did it like that because it would have smeared everywhere. It's not smearing there. Not on my teeth. But yeah, I was gonna do lashes. We're not doing lashes. Maybe tomorrow night. I'm doing a video for tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow night. I've used it in a while, and I still love that liner. So I was just like, I need to use my liner. Yeah, we don't have time for lashes, and this video's already too long. I'm gonna to chop it up where I can and speed it up for lashes. I was not, I didn't want to, yeah. You saw me, I'm like, oh, we are not we don't have time for an incident right now. Okay, because I'm trying to think how set my face is, and I did see it's right there. We're gonna let that dry and then do a little whatever. And then I'm glad I just looked because we're gonna remember to take this off because regardless of what top I am wearing, there you go, you can't really see it. And I tried with concealer, with one concealer, I'm many concealers, I'm gonna try another one to see if I can cover that because I wear a lot of shirts like this. They may not show like cleavage, but they show this part. And so I was like, I need to figure that out. If I need to do, what's that, bio oil or Mederma, what have you, one of them hyperpigmentation things, since we need to clear this up anyway. Yeah, because this bothers me. If it's up here, it'd be fine, because I know my neck is dark, but down here, it's... Okay, we're gonna also choose earrings as soon as I figure out what dress am I wearing, or that shirt, because it's a black dress, and then there's a pink dress as well, with flowers. Okay, back. Okay, earrings for this. So I decided to go with a blouse, and I have two pairs of jeans I usually rotate. I haven't rotated them in a while. I just keep washing the same ones. So I was like, let me put the tighter jeans on. Basically just meaning they're not worn in right now. Go with hoops. I don't want to just do studs, so I'm thinking they're also harder to put in with these nails. To do these. Because my other ones that have these colors are too... Oh, I should wear those. These are white. White goes with their thing, but they look cream, so I'm gonna go with these. That's why I pulled the whole thing out. Mind you, none of those earrings are like more than $15. And I'm hot. I went to the bathroom while I was there. I know it's cool outside because my apartment just holds on to heat sometimes. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That looks nice. I do plan to wear a wig on Sunday, but probably not tomorrow, or not today, obviously, because pretty much industry night. I want people recognize me with the bald head, versus the wig kind of throws people off unless they really know my face. So some people I know do, but other people do not. And it's easier walking up to people like, hey, how you doing, kind of thing. But they know who you are. So yeah. So it's nothing. Let's get that real quick. So I guess So thank you for listening to my crazy story. Again, I'm not a drama person. It's just a situation that just happened that finally just blew up. That noise was apparently a moving truck. I don't know who's moving the truck. People moving out of here all the time. So like I said, this I need to put lotion on because again, I forgot the lotion. It feels fine. Like I said, as soon as I leave, it'll be less hot. It's mostly this. This is why I haven't worn it during the summer, what have you, because of this. Like I said, it's like soak, what have you, but it'll be fine once I get out. The thing is, I have no plans to do that. I mean, this is good. This is a good bra, strapless bra, but there's that. You can jump up and down. I've worn it before, so okay. Yeah. So with that, this is a great time to enjoy what I do love, which is filmmaking, and reunite with my filmmaking friends. And yeah, if you were in Phoenix, it started yesterday, 37 on the 27th. It's going on till the 6th, until April 6th. So if you're in Phoenix, hit up the Phoenix Film Festival. They're great people. They've been going on 25 years. So go find your next favorite movie. With that, I am out.